Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Can Casinos and Lotteries Be Scammed Out of Money? Is it possible to still scam casinos and lotteries out of money? Absolutely. We will reveal some of the incredible money-making scams that people have targeted casinos and lotteries with. And then we're going to reveal the monster scam of all time, the one they're all afraid of. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, follow, and comment on the show, as well as to tell you that the show is sponsored by HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a company which allows you to purchase live phone calls with your favorite celebrities. It's a great purchase for yourself or as a gift for somebody you know. The prices are $19.95 and $29.95. So check them out. It's HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. Casinos and lotteries have been targeted by scams for decades. Before I tell you about the really big scam they're all scared to death of, first I'm going to tell you about some of the current and recent scams that have been hitting the casinos and the lotteries. Number one, the lottery has been targeted by a number of individuals and organizations over the years. They've been targeted by mathematical geniuses, they've been targeted by inside employees, and they have been targeted by organized crime, of course. Have you ever heard of people on the East Coast winning the lottery multiple times on multiple occasions? Most people, they just sit back and they think, well, you know, that has got to be a scam of some sort. There's no way an individual, statistically speaking, could ever be fortunate enough to hit the lottery 2, 3, 4 times. Just not mathematically possible, right? Well, let me tell you how they were doing it. For years, some mob organizations had a deal going where if you won the lottery ticket and you wanted to make more of that money than you would by turning it into the lottery office and collecting the money from them, they would buy the ticket from you at a higher price than you would get with your after-tax proceeds from the lottery office. And this was just a sophisticated money laundering scheme. And the way it worked is, as the legitimate lottery ticket buyer, you would sell the ticket to the mob, and they would pay you more than the state lottery ticket office would after taxes. And it would provide a mechanism for them to launder money, and the lottery ticket winner would make more money, after tax money, than you would normally. This was going on for a while. Number two, the casinos. They've been getting attacked for decades by card manipulation experts, people who tampered with the slot machines, people who were expert card counters. Years ago, actor Ben Affleck admitted that he was thrown out of the Vegas Hard Rock Casino because they simply felt he was winning too much money. Now, the interesting thing about card counting is that it is not illegal, but they hate it. And they will ask you to leave, and they asked Ben to leave. At first, they offered to let him go play some of the other games where the odds are less in his favor, but he declined and he simply left. Card counting requires a very high mathematical aptitude, or it requires a hidden computer of some sort on your person. The computer will help you calculate the odds in real time so that you can bet with a mathematical advantage when it makes sense to do so. Everybody knows about the famous MIT blackjack team that stole millions of dollars from the casinos over the years. They've inspired a number of books and movies precisely because they had mastered that technique. Another really interesting scam is called laser targeting. A few years ago, some gamblers walked into an overseas casino and they brought with them special lasers hidden inside their cell phones. And these laser tracking devices would track the roulette ball. It would track its path and its trajectory, and then it would predict where it would fall. And that allowed these gamblers to walk away with $2.1 million before they were caught. Now, here's the really interesting thing. They were caught, but they were never charged. Why? Because at the time there were no laws prohibiting the use of such technology in casinos. Now, obviously, that has changed since then. Number three is slot machine tampering. Over the years, there have been countless scams designed to tamper with or game slot machines to the player's advantage. Now, these guys, they would use all sorts of technology. They would insert special light sticks into the slot machine to tamper with it. They would alter the computer code on the motherboards of the slot machines. These people would make millions of dollars, especially if they worked in large teams over multiple cities. A lot of these people would wear disguises. Number four is chip counterfeiting. There have been numerous attempts over the years involving individuals and organized crime groups who would go in and they would steal and counterfeit casino chips. Now, the casinos are always telling people that this is really almost impossible because they have sophisticated RFID technology built into the chips designed to prevent their misuse. But if you'll notice, whenever they catch somebody stealing chips or attempting to sell stolen chips, it's always some drunken idiot who barely knows what they're doing. It's never a sophisticated organized crime group. Why is that? Because most people believe that these sophisticated organized crime groups have the technology to alter the RFID chips inside these casino tokens, and and the fact that they're almost never caught is sort of a tacit acknowledgement of the fact that they're getting away with it. Now, here's the really big scam I told you about earlier, the one all the casino groups are scared to death of and nobody wants to talk about. And that is tampering with online sports betting. You know, currently, nationwide online sports betting is being legalized in one state after another. Everybody loves the idea of being able to go to a football game or a basketball game and then pulling out their smartphone and in real time being able to place a bet on the game they're watching at any point in the game. That's just great. Everybody thinks it's going to generate tremendous revenue and generate more tax proceeds for the states than ever before. But here's what they don't want to talk about. What they don't want to talk about is that organizations like the Pentagon, Google, Facebook, almost every major bank in the world, they've all been hacked and they're being hacked regularly. And the issue is that these organizations have infinite resources and they can implement whatever state-of-the-art technology is available to them. But the problem is that these hacking groups and hacking individuals, there are countless groups out there, and they're writing the most sophisticated code in the world. And it's really difficult for a single individual, whether or group like the Pentagon or Google or Facebook, it's really difficult for them to mount an adequate online defense against all these other illicit groups that are hacking them. You know, I heard an estimate really that there are now more than 10,000 hack attempts being made every second of every day against some of these larger groups, and their firewalls are being hammered by these attacks. Think of the internet as this huge river running past your computer, and that river contains countless criminals, and they're all attacking your computer every second of every day. That's what these organizations are confronted with. The other problem is that the employees of organizations like Google and Facebook and the banks and the Pentagon and the government, everywhere these people go, they're being targeted by individuals who walk around with these portable scanners and they try and read their phones at a distance with really sophisticated technology designed to help them hack an individual's phone. So, you know, you're some Google employee, or hypothetically, you're some Google employee or a Pentagon employee, and you're out late at some restaurant or bar and you're walking out of the bar, you're not really expecting to be scanned at a distance by somebody with that kind of technology. But the truth of the matter is now when government employees go overseas, when they go to China or other countries, they don't take their own phones with them anymore. They routinely take burner phones with almost no information on them because they know they're going to be scanned when they're in these foreign countries, scanned and probably compromised. And so they don't want any of their information stolen. And when they're done with their foreign mission, they destroy the phone and throw it away. And unfortunately, that's not always the practice of employees who work domestically for a lot of private companies and a lot of government companies. It's just not done because maybe the companies don't think it's economically feasible to buy their employees a new phone every week, or maybe there are other considerations. But that's what's happening. These people are being scanned constantly, and you only need one individual to be caught at the wrong time with the wrong information, and then that can be used to access the entire network. It's been reported that the President of the United States doesn't even use email, and that's because he doesn't trust it. He thinks that electronic communications can be hacked, can be surveyed by deep staters or by foreign adversaries, and it can be compromised. It's even been reported that the President of the United States communicates with the leader of North Korea via handwritten letters to prevent his messages and information from being compromised. So there are reports out there now that there's a new technology that's being used to allow individuals and organizations to videotape you through your television screen. Now, realize what I just said. I didn't say through a camera built in your television screen, in your television or your computer monitor, not a camera, through the actual television screen itself. What they've done is they've reportedly figured out a way to remotely convert your television screen into a viewing sensor that can videotape you. Videotape you, the person watching your own television screen. And think about the significance of that. Think about how many television screens, how many computer monitors, how many laptop screens, how many phones there are everywhere. And think about the potential to have every one of them remotely converted into a camera that videos you doing everything. That is quite a compromise. So with all that capability out there, is there anyone who really believes that if the Pentagon and Google and Facebook and the World Banks, if they're being challenged and compromised every day by hackers, is there anybody who really believes that the online casino sports betting industry is sophisticated enough to do what the Pentagon, what Google, what Facebook have been struggling to do? I don't know of anybody who believes that. So with that in mind, I want to thank you, and we will talk to you soon.